Even though I just left the dentist and just some minor stuff and a stitch put in, it's no big deal. But though my mouth is just a little sore, I wanted to share something. I might even keep this part. I might cut this out. Why did I just tell y'all that? I have no idea. So check this out. As a result of stress and lack of support and resources to manage the stress, it accumulates. And as it accumulates within our energy body, our emotional body, that's our mind, it weighs us down. Okay. And what happens is anything that happens in life that seems to be the camel that broke the straw, the straw that broke the camel's back. Well, each straw that falls after that will almost feel like death and misery and suffering. And I just can't go on anymore. And your spirit be crushed and you get desperate and you start doing things out of desperation and of trying to control your life. And you get hyper vigilant and you're trying to control every single thing happening in your life that you feel like should not be happening or is negative or difficult. And it's just like, is one more thing happen, and life brings one more thing. And so now you have a mountain of life experiences, and all of them are being perceived as something that's coming to break you. And what happens is you don't even realize that you're creating all of that so that you have the opportunity to be tested on what you have learned. Because the only way to receive the things that we would like to receive in life is to plant the seed and then to take care of it and harvest it. So when the problem comes, we perceive the situation in life, the problem, as another straw coming to break our back, when in actuality, it's just the universe as the teacher. University, the school. It's just the universe giving you a test saying, okay, well, you've learned enough. You've read enough books. You've meditated. You've prayed on it. You've done petitions, manifestations. You even did a candle magic spell. You've been doing color therapy. You're interested in chakras. Maybe you're interested in dreams. Maybe you're just interested in self-help books. Like, okay, you've been listening to astrology videos, checking out your natal chart, checking out the horoscope, like all of the many ways we are finding as pathways to connect to spirit. Whatever it may be for you, it's different for everybody. And what happens is when that test is given to you, you basically ball it up and you tear it up and destroy it because you're like, I'm sick of this. And the teacher's standing there like, all you had to do was take the test using the knowledge that you learned, and that thing that you've been wanting to manifest. Yeah, that was the thing that was queued up for you to get, but you tore the test up, so I guess you don't want it. And we push it back. We avoid conflict. We avoid facing ourselves. We ignore. We repress our feelings. We push it down. And then we feel more and more victimized. And the more victimized we feel, the more we will attract people who also feel like victims to life. And then when something goes wrong, you got two people who both feel like victims to difficult circumstances because they can't see the opportunity to level up and how the problem is really a portal to a higher timeline of experience for themselves as our divine higher self. They don't see that. All they see is this is a problem because that's the perception that they're stuck in because they feel like victims to life. And so what happens is you will start to blame each other because, you don't have the capacity to be aware. That's the AAA team that I teach about, awareness, you have to have acceptance, and then you can do the alchemy on it. And so they begin to blame each other and watching each other and keeping a report card, like in memory of things that each other are doing wrong. Because to just look at me and myself, it's just so painful. Like, I just feel like I'm fucking up everything and I'm always making mistakes and I'm not improving. I'm doubting myself. I lack confidence, all of these things. So like, it's just looking at myself just hurts. So it is a natural baseline instinct function for a mind that is dealing with stress, mismanaged, doesn't know how to emotionally regulate, you're going to have the trauma brain response of fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. That's just how it is. That's not like psychobabble. Like, that's the way the brain reacts. And so you can see that being mindful and learning to observe yourself allows you to begin to choose your responses versus reacting, and allowing the inner child inside of you, who is just, it's the inner child in us that feels like the victim. It's just like, shit keep going wrong. But the inner child needs the wise adult part of you that has had these experiences and tests to prove that you have received that experience as a lesson, and is building up your portfolio, aka your book of life, your Akashic records, with experiences that are positive and moving you in a direction you desire to go in. The adult, I divine self, can see that, but the wounded inner child inside of you cannot. And if you have not isolated the wounded inner child's reactions, thoughts, beliefs, and values over the adult, I divine higher self, then it's going to be difficult for you to make those decisions, because there's a blind spot where you can't see the other side. You can't see the other perception of whatever you're observing and looking at. And so, if you're feeling like you're incapable and a victim on the inside, and it just never happened for me, and you're stuck in black and white thinking, I always get left behind, I always end up getting my heart broke, I always struggle with money, I'm always sick, I'm always in a situation where I have nobody to call. Like, if that is a repetitive thought that has an emotion that you have not checked associated with it, you're permitting those seeds to keep being planted. So it's no surprise that the harvest is of more things to always feel those negative things about. And so what happens is, you don't look inside of yourself for solutions and power. You're going to look for it everywhere else. Because I'm broken and incapable, it's no way that the solutions are inside of me. I've tried this and tried that. And anytime we allow something outside of us to validate us and to make us feel good about ourselves, and it's not generated by our own consciousness of co-creating that, we're codependently relying on other people to make us feel good, which means you have given whatever that external thing is all of your energy. You have put all of your eggs in that basket, and you've basically said, I'm looking to you, and I have an expectation for you to make me feel better. And the minute you do not, I'm going to feel like something is wrong with our relationship, because you're supposed to validate me. You're supposed to make me feel better. You're supposed to encourage me. Well, the other side of that is that other person who's expected to give and do all of that, they're not being allowed to have the time and the space to fill themselves up first. Because the person who's dealing with victim mindset feels so empty and broken inside. You can't be alone. I need somebody to comfort me. I need somebody to be with me, to pep talk me. I need somebody to listen to me when I'm just complaining about something that we've talked about a whole bunch of times, and I haven't done anything different to change it, but I just want to complain about it, okay? I just want to trauma dump. Let me just throw it all up on you, you know? And as we are engaging in that type of activity, we're in this parasitic host, codependent situation. You could even say some narcissism is in there, where one person's expectations are actually a reflection of narcissistic supply. Let me say that again. Sometimes when we have unrealistic expectations for something outside of us to make us feel a certain way, that expectation is actually narcissistic supply that you're demanding. And you know that it is what I'm saying because you have a difficult time detaching from doing kind things for whoever that person is. You want to get them to do something with you or for you or be with you or whatever. If you are caught up on that emptiness, then you're going to expect them to make you feel better. And when they don't, you're not going to see that is actually how you treat yourself that fills you up or not. You're not going to see that because it's like, you my partner, you my spouse. And we got all of these 3D social construct expectations, but it's actually a setup to get narcissistic supply, but we are unaware of it. We don't know that we don't know how to create our own love and sunshine inside. So we seek to get power from things outside of us. We seek to get power from how much money we're making. We seek to get power from whatever the career is that we're doing. We seek to get power by people pleasing and performance all the time and just showing up in a way where people just think you're charismatic and love you. And you're such a nice guy. You're such a nice girl. You know, you just, oh my gosh, I just adore you. Like, it feels so good to be adored and celebrated, you know. But if you ain't giving it to yourself, you are draining your own life force energy. You are bleeding all over people, thinking that they're hurting you and wounding you, but you're really hurting and wounding yourself. And you won't be able to see why it seems like it's a crime scene at the end of your relationships or with certain business situations or just things that manifest in your life. It just seems to be destructive and things maybe end for you the same way each time. So it's a lesson that you're not learning, and you must accept the test that you're being offered that comes in the form of life experiences. And once you can accept that, then you will be able to identify your power, protect that power with boundaries, protect your values and your beliefs. You're not going to change them based on somebody outside of you. And you're not going to allow anybody outside of you to love you more than you. That's a truly emotional, intelligent, responsible, adult way of being securely attached. And with this new moon in Cancer, Aries and Libra nodes are switching. Virgo would be going into retrograde on Saturday, July 22nd, leading up to the Lioness Gate portal, which is on August 8th. In that time, anything that you have ignored, if you are spiritually awakened, will be presented to you in the form of a test. And the way you respond, whether you are a reactor or creator, I only move the C and the R. These words are wrapped inside of each other. At any point in time, you can respond in ways that reflect the person you are becoming and no longer respond in victimhood ways of the person you used to be. And we're being called to shed these things like the skin of a snake and to release it. So come back to this video if you need a reminder or some motivation or clarity. But just remember, by becoming more securely attached, by no longer expecting anyone outside of you to make you feel anything, you are owning your present moment, and you are reclaiming all of the power and energy that you leaked and gave away as a result of trauma, unprocessed, will return to you. And that energy returning to you will come through the form of collaborations, through people wanting to, connect with you, network with you. It will come through resources, the information that you've been needing for whatever it is that you've been wanting to do, which will start making itself known to you. So your spirit animals and synchronicity, nature would begin to speak to you. I just had a dope conversation with the trees today. I'm gonna be sharing that really soon. And you feel the wholeness with everything versus feeling the disconnect and the emptiness that we sometimes feel when we're not embracing the shadows as a part of ourself that is calling for light in the form of love and acceptance. I'm going to self-care now. Make sure that you take some time out to do that. And stay tuned. Open y'all emails, because I'm sending emails out pretty often, and you do not want to miss one of them, because this is a very, very important time for us to plant the seeds. It's not just about us anymore. It's about what we can create as a collective. What can we collaborate and accomplish that we cannot accomplish alone? So open your emails. Namaste, Namaste.